Violence is a disease of human beings, but it is not so for beasts. For beasts, it is their nature. There is no possibility of non-violence at the level of beasts. That is why they haven't got any idea of violence. Violence is the disease that man has inherited from beasts, and it is a disease obstructing his evolving consciousness. It can be said that one who is not willing to wipe out one's past is refusing his evolution. If I continue to remain what I was yesterday, it means my today is wasted. If I wish to make progress, there is no other way for me but to go beyond my yesterday. The past must be transcended. The past of man is his beasthood, and the future leads him to godhood. But one who does not transcend beasthood cannot enter the temple of God. One who desires to achieve the future, to attain God, has to die every day towards the past. That disease is like this. Suppose a child who has put on his clothes refuses to cast them away even when he grows up. A change in clothes is quite necessary along with the growth of the body. A child's clothes are all right for a child, but they would be quite ill-suited, pain-giving, and would feel like a prison for a young person. Beasthood is the past of man. We all have traveled through that stage. This fact is confirmed by scientists as well as spiritualists. Darwin declared a few years ago that man has descended from beasts. But thousands of years before Darwin, here in India, Mahavira, Buddha and Krishna announced to the world that man's soul has evolved from beasts. The last link of man was beast. Manhood is a state of transit. He is like a bridge from where the beast passes and is transformed into godhood. As we go deeper and deeper within, we shall experience that the past is very heavy because it is a known thing. It is not easy to be free from it. Getting rid of it is not so easy. We begin to feel that we are our past. Millions of years ago, when man was a caveman living in the hollows of mountains, when there was no fire and no means to light lamps, the fear of darkness that entered man's mind at such times is still pursuing him today. Today there is no fear of darkness outside. No cave is surrounded by darkness, and yet darkness remains a cause of fear. The fear of darkness, which took hold of man's mind millions of years ago, has not yet left him. It is still linked to him. I mention this as an illustration. In exactly the same way, violence is an impression carried by man from his life as a beast. A beast cannot live without committing violence, but we cannot live with violence. Man is not born with violence, yet we see that for thousands of years he has done nothing but fight. 15,000 battles have been fought in the last 3,000 years. This fact, though large in scale, is only a reflection of our constant quarrels and conflicts. We fight all the time, sometimes with enemies, sometimes with friends, sometimes for wealth and sometimes for fame. We fight for position, and then our fight takes a political form. When we fight for wealth, our greed turns into exploitation. Sometimes we even fight without any real cause, simply because the habit of fighting is ingrained in us. When a person goes hunting, he fights without cause, yet he calls it a sport. Man searches for and develops sports that satisfy his instinct for fighting. If he cannot engage in actual warfare, he seeks competition in games like chess. In a deeper sense, there is a strong longing to defeat others and a desire to engage in combat, even in a game of chess. Life is filled with violence on all sides. Violence is a disease for man. Now, it is no longer inevitable, though it may still be inevitable for beasts. It should be borne in mind that as soon as a new step in evolution is taken, new responsibilities and new burdens follow. Every step in evolution is a step toward greater responsibility. From the moment man left his beasthood and evolved into a human, non-violence became his responsibility. The flower of manhood can never bloom in the midst of violence. Manhood can only fully flourish in the presence of love. That is why I say non-violence is wholesomeness, while violence is a disease. Perhaps there is no disease more dangerous than violence.